card. We're making kind of an unusual card. So this is going to be a card. It does fold completely flat, so in case you're worried about that. But it's going to be kind of like a mini accordion card, I guess. It's kind of cool. So in your kit here, you're going to see this happy birthday sentiment, and you're going to see the gold all the way around the edges. I did that on purpose because I love the pop of gold with these dual tone cards. I just think they're so much fun. And then you're going to see this kind of rounded rectangle for the inside of the card. Now you're going to see 3 pieces of paper here for your card. And I know that's going to be kind of a little funky and a little weird, but what we're going to do here is you're going to take this paper, this piece here, and you see how there's 2 little tabs on the left and right and how they're a little funky. So we're going to be adhering our pages to this, okay? So in order to do this, what we do here is we're going to put our leaves, the first page, the leaves are going to be in the far bottom left corner. Then we're going to put glue on this tab. When you fold it in, you put the glue right here, okay? So I would say if you fold it in, the glue is going to go on the top. And I definitely recommend glue, not double-sided tape for this, because double-sided tape over time, it might wear off, the sticky might wear off, and then it won't be as strong. So we're putting that on a little tab there. We're folding that back down so you can see it, and that's going to match up perfectly with our little edge right here, okay? And it's just going to match up really nicely onto that first page of our card, okay? Now we're going to do the same thing on this side too, but this time we're going to fold this out and put glue on the top, or on this side of it, okay? So we're going to apply glue like this, just a small amount, and then we're going to take this and we're going to set it on top of that, okay? So then that way, all of those little tabs are going to be kind of hidden a little bit. This one, obviously, you can still see a little bit, but only if you're really looking. Okay, so once you lay that down, you have this kind of 3-page kind of card thing happening, all right? Now we're going to take our little rounded rectangle. I'm going to put double-sided tape on the back side of this instead of glue, just because I like that the tape is a dry adherence, and we're going to layer this in the middle of our card here, okay? And this is going to be a nice space to write our image. When I had actually first designed this card, I had actually planned to stamp leaves with dark green, and then that we could write on top of it. But the thing is that a lot of people don't necessarily have a gold pen to write their image, but also I have found that sometimes when you're giving a card to someone, they might not be able to read it as nicely. So this will give it an opportunity to have a space to write that will be much easier to see. Okay, so now we're going to fold this in. Oh, sorry. We're going to fold this forward and take this guy and we're going to fold this back. Okay. So then when you set it up, you have sending happiness your way as the back page, and then you have your little spot for your writing, and then this will be the front of the card. So for the front of the card, you see how it's nice, it's all rounded on all 4 sides, which I really like. We're going to have this sentiment that says happy birthday. So we're going to take this guy, and double-sided tape is going to go in the middle on all 4 sides. I'm just going to set that right here in the middle of the card. Now we're going to do the fussy cutting part. I know it's not the most favorite thing, but at least it's the last one and it's the easiest one, so I will tell you that. All right, so we're just going to take our scissors and I'm going to kind of do the little halo thing around it, and I'm just going to kind of cut just around this in kind of a nice way that it kind of follows the shape of the leaf that we already have kind of going on. Okay, so we're just going to do that with all 5 of our little leaves. And then we're going to do that same technique where we did the little curling of our waxed linen thread by kind of curling it around either like a skewer or like a little paintbrush, so then that way you kind of get that really fun little curly Q aspect. All right. Okay, so we got all of these. Luckily, this is going much faster than cutting out all of those flowers. Now, I'm not going to complain about the flowers because I do love the flowers, but I will say that the leaves are going to be much easier for cutting all of those out. And they did gold embossing on all of these. That's why you get that really beautiful kind of raised up look. And it's just a really nice look on top of this dark green paper. This dark green paper was discontinued for a long time and I finally got access to it again and I was so happy. They were telling me that it wasn't going to be available ever again, and then this year it showed up on my order sheet. Yes, I get to have that paper again. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take our leaves and we're going to put double-sided tape on the back side of those. Now let's think about how you want to lay this out. I like having this little curled part here. You can either have that up in the far corner or you can have it kind of down around your little sentiment. It's going to be kind of up to you, or you can kind of mix and match if you'd like to do that. It is the same leaf, it's just repeated, stamped out, and then heat embossed. So you can kind of think about how you kind of want to frame that out, okay? So I kind of like the idea of having 3 up here in the top corner and then having a couple down here in kind of the bottom corner. And again, I'm kind of mixing and matching the part of the leaf that's kind of sticking out, so that way it doesn't look like the exact same leaf just over and over again, just stamped out, even though, full disclosure, that's exactly what it is. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to put double-sided tape on the part of it that's going to be up here in the corner, right? So if you want to kind of think about where that is, even if would be the time to kind of think hard about where you want those to be at. And then I'm going to stick those on here. Again, my double-sided tape is only on that far corner. It's not on this bottom part here because I don't want that to be sticking down. I want that to kind of be raised up a little bit, kind of like we were talking about earlier, where we kind of we're creating dimension just by kind of not gluing things in place. And it will kind of be curled up just a little bit, making it look like we've popped it up, but not creating so much dimension that it's causing us to have to pay more for postage, right? So we have that little die, and those are kind of up a little bit, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. All right, and we have this guy here and this guy here. Actually, just going to be a little bit closer to the bottom here to kind of frame this out. All right, so now we're going to take our little waxed linen here. And again, you don't really need very much of this, so I'm actually going to recommend that you cut just kind of 2 small pieces. And then the other pieces you can use for another project, that larger piece. I'm going to take my little pieces here and I'm going to fold them in half. I know it's really hard to see this, but I'm going to fold those in half, and I'm going to kind of peel these back a little bit and put a little bit of double-sided tape here where the leaves are going to lay down. I'm going to stick on my waxed linen piece just kind of right there. Okay, I know it's kind of weird, and then I'm going to cover it up with the leaves, so then that way the linen is locked in, but we're covering up where that adherence is. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to peel these back just a little bit, put down some double-sided tape, take my little twine, I'm going to fold that in half, stick it on my double-sided tape, and then press my leaves down so then I have my little twines. And then just like we were doing earlier, we're going to take our paintbrush here. I'm going to kind of put it kind of close to my paper here, and I'm going to wrap my waxed linen all the way around that, so that way kind of creates this really cute little curlicue, and then the little curlicue is just going to kind of float right there. And what's nice is that even though this card looks like it has this like crazy amount of dimension, it actually does not have so much permanent dimension that you will have to pay for extra postage, because those little curlicues can just lay totally flat, which I thought was really fun. So again, now we're going to do this little guy, and we're going to do the same thing here. One little curlicue there, and our second one here. Now I'm going to show you an idea if you would like to do this and you happen to have a gold pen. Now if you don't have a gold pen and you don't want to do this card the way that it is great. You could leave it as is and it looks fun and wonderful, and you have all the gilding in there and you still have a nice spot to write your sentiment. If you have a gold pen or a little bit of gold stickles and you wanted to do dot groupings, you could do dot groupings around. I'm going to show you what I did for a different card. Same card, same idea, but this one has the dots in it, and you can see the difference here. There's a lot more dots and more speckles. A dot grouping is a large dot and a couple little dots next to it, and so that way it just kind of makes it look a bit more fun, and the background isn't so stark and there's a lot more going on. And you can see the little dot groupings there and the little dot groupings here. I did not put them on everyone's card because some people don't like having the dot groupings, or they want to write something else or put a different sentiment. So I decided not to do this for yours, but if you happen to have a gold pen or you need to get one, I do sell them here. It is a fun way to just add more to a card. Okay? All right, friends, those are 3 cards for this week's class. I hope you had lots of fun. Also, thank you for being patient while I got the videos up because it took me forever. All right, friends, have a great day. Bye-bye.